Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy. It's my pleasure as usual to be greeting you and always bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look no other place but to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I want to speak to you today concerning the subject of money and how Abdullah taught Neville Goddard that it was consciousness that creates money. And I just want to share this little thought with you to help you to create your reality consciously. Now, we are living right now in a time just like the time with Abdullah and Neville Goddard, for it was a time of crisis. As a matter of fact, there was a market crash at that time, Great Depression from 1929 to 1939. And as you know, we just had COVID, which many claim to be a pandemic or scamdemic. But nevertheless, it had its effect on the world's economy and on the lives of many. So too Neville's life affected in the time of the Great Depression, for no one would even pay to see a dancer. And that was Neville's occupation at the time, being a dancer. But being very interested in spiritual things, he started to read and study books when he was eventually invited to a meeting where this Ethiopian rabbi was speaking. And though it took him 6 months before he visited Abdullah, he went, and right there he and Abdullah had this connection, and he studied with Abdullah for over 5 years. And he had no work, he had no money. He was a burning desire to travel to Barbados. And Abdullah told him that he has already gone to Barbados and he would have already gone first class. And Abdullah was saying this to Neville, with Neville not having a work or having any money. But I just want to remind you that there's a scripture in the Bible that says that you must come and buy milk, come and buy wine, come and buy honey without money. Therefore, there have to be a power that is greater than money. And that power, that which is greater than money, is consciousness. And when I say that to you, speaking from experience, it is you coming to realize your nothingness. It is you coming to realize that you are an invisible being, and that the outer expression of you is not your real essence. Nothing that you see is actually real, they're all imaginal. And this whole world is an illusion. You just beholding an outer projection. And it wasn't until I have had my resurrection or virgin birth, which is the birth from the scholar, I would have come to realize these things. That's why I do teach them. Like, for example, when I say that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, I'm not saying that based on theory, everything vibrates. I'm not saying that from theory either. I'm speaking from experience. And when I say that when I became invisible, I was just pure consciousness. That's who I am, just pure consciousness. Okay, the sense of being. That's it. And that is why you can never lose your sense of being. Even if a man is in the madhouse, he still doesn't lose his sense of being. And that is what would help you to realize also that you are eternal, that your spirit having a human experience, and will also enable you to understand that everything came from spirit to matter, from the invisible to visible. Many things that you will ever hear me say, it is because of this experience. So there's a great and mighty experience that will teach you basically everything that you need to know in this world. And it's the greatest experience that you can have. It will bring you into your Christ consciousness. And that is why Abdullah taught Nevill how he can actually create money. So, sisters, when you understand your true essence is actually consciousness, you use your consciousness to create your reality consciously. So money is energy, and you are a mass of energy. And so when you have the thought of money, you have to know how much you want, how rich you want to be, and why you want such a thing in your life. How is it going to benefit you and benefit humanity? How would it help others? Okay, that's how you have to look at it. Because in Neville's case, it was being together with his family, sharing good times together with his family. And we all know how important family is in every society. So he had a real good motive to want to be with his family, having left them for over 12 years. Okay, so my brother and my sisters, what I'm really trying to say to you is that your true essence is what creates money. It doesn't matter whose head is on the money. Like, for example, in my country, the Queen head is on the money. The EC dollars, the Eastern Caribbean, currency. And all of us have that same currency. The Queen in England have to depend on the same power to go to bed and to wake her up, just as me and you. Each and everyone have to go to the toilet. Each and everyone have to take a shower. There's no hierarchy. All of us are one. There's just one universal consciousness. There's power, and you can use that power to keep you in the gutter, or you can use that power to lift you higher. And that is why I'm saying that consciousness creates money, because we all work in this world for money, and we all appreciate money because it's a medium of exchange. Now, there are people among us who are very hypocritical, and they like to quote the scripture that says the love of money is the root of all evil, not knowing that that scripture is teaching you that you have to love yourself first, and you have to seek to discover yourself first. So when you be in love with your higher self, with your God self, then you will not make money your master. Okay, money would be your slave instead of you being the slave of money. So basically that is what that is teaching you, because we see the lack of money is what caused a lot of tragedy in our society. Many men are in prison because of the lack of money. There's so much teenage pregnancy because of the lack of money. There's so much things that are happening in a negative way because of lack of money. So my brother and my sisters, Abdullah actually taught how he must use his consciousness to create money. And that is what I'm actually saying to you. That is what I'm actually sharing with you. Use your consciousness to create money, because money is the medium of exchange in our society. And when you're using your consciousness to create money, you want to do it wisely. You want to give service, because remember, your rewards in life would all be in exact proportion of the service that you give. So you cannot check the laws of the universe. As you sow, so shall you reap. Give, and it will come back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, man, give into your bosom. So it is very important for you to give of your service, give of your contribution. And when you do that, it's going to come back to you. So my brother and my sisters, this message is just to encourage you to believe more in yourself and to trust yourself, because the self of man is God. And the creator in man is man's imagination. Therefore, use the of knowing who you are to create whatever you so desire. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much. And I want to say, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying is really helping you, it's resonating with you, I would like to say to you, if you haven't subscribed already, to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. But just before I leave, I just want to remind you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And truly it is because my whole body was filled with light, and the single eye had been opened within me, and I was able to awake from the dream of life while I'm bringing this message to you. And saying to you that when it happens to you, that you will change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye, and understand that the twinkling of an eye is an opening of an eye, and that you can either be God asleep or God awake. And when you are God awake, you will share the message of salvation to everyone, telling them that true salvation is self-realization. And that is why I always say to you, do not let anyone ever brainwash you to make you believe that the symbol of the single eye, that it's an evil symbol. No, it is the eye of God in you, who is your imagination. For when you experience an awakened imagination, you will realize that the eye also represents the eye of the mystics, the eye of the seers, those who would vibrate from humanity and come in to discover their divinity. And that is why I always say to you also, you will realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun, as in the S-U-N, parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, parallels the sun, I should say. For without the sun, there is no life, and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And truly the sun has never withhold any good thing from humanity, for the sun is what powers humanity and gives humanity all of its energy. Then in Malachi chapter 1 verse 2, you're told also that the Son of Righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And truly I'm healing to each and everyone, encouraging you to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your desire, because consciousness do create reality. That was what was taught to Neville Goddard by Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, our ancestor. So with that being said, I want to say peace. I love you all. I'm out.